Hey Heartland Leader, this is Andrew from the Reach Company. This is a tutorial for the heartlandleader.com site, and in this tutorial we are going to discuss using the actual page builder to work on visually designing, changing, tweaking your website. I'm going to hit on a few things. The first is up here you'll have this admin bar when you log in and you're looking at your site. And they handle a few different things. We're mainly going to talk about event edit page, page builder, and WP Rocket. So if I clicked on edit page, it takes me to the back end. You shouldn't have to do this for most of the pages that you already have because I've already handled all that because you have a custom site. But basically, you can change your SEO, your custom page title. We cover like handling the SEO stuff in multiple tutorials, and then you can change the featured image here as well. We're not going to worry about that for this. I just want you to be aware that edit page and page builder are two different things. And so I'm going to hover over page builder, and what you'll see is a few things pop up. You'll see the page, see where it says page right here. You'll see header, and you'll see footer. And that's because every page is made up of at least like 3 different parts. Here, you see this right here is your header. This is where your navigation is. It's where your logo is. And everything, I'm sorry, if you scroll down all the way, you'll see here is your footer. This is a weird page to see it on because this bottom piece is the same background color as your footer. I'm going to head over to your contact page. I think that'll show a little more separation. And you can see, yeah, so here's the page content and here's the footer content. And the header and footer are consistent across the entire site. And then everything in between the header and footer is the page itself. And so I'm gonna give you an overview of using the page builder so that you can understand how to tweak stuff on the page. And so I'm gonna click Heartland Leadership Initiative, the page. It's gonna pull up the page builder for me to use.
The world is marching into the...
And that video, that autoplay. I'm sorry about that. So when I pull up the page builder, you'll see that the interface changes a little bit here at the top. So if before getting into this, I'm gonna go through this top bar. And if I click this down arrow, it just gives some tools. You shouldn't have to mess with much of this right here. Maybe the only thing you might want to mess with is the UI brightness. It just moves it from light to dark. You shouldn't have to mess with any of the global settings, anything over here. Now I'm going to come over here to this plus bar. This plus bar pulls up modules, rows, templates, and saved things. Modules are basically little things that are put into here. Basically everything you see here is made up of modules. Rows are these big blocks. You see this whole rectangle going around right here. That is a row. Templates are different templates that I've made for different areas on your site. And saved rows, saved columns, saved modules, these make it easy to so instead of coming here, if you have to add a button somewhere, instead of coming here and pulling this button into the page and having to redo all the colors, redo the text, all that, I have saved different buttons here that are already styled for your site, and so you can just drag those into the site instead of having to start from scratch every time with a button module. Now I'm going to work down through the actual page. So the way our page builder works is basically boxes inside of boxes inside of boxes. And I think this will be a good one to use as the model. And so as you can see, this big one right here, when the whole thing is highlighted, that's called a row. And if I want to edit a row, I can click on this wrench. If I want to duplicate a row, there are a few more row action settings right here. If I want to delete one, just click that X. Inside rows are columns. So you'll see that this whole thing is a column right here. And you'll see when I hover over Move Column, this whole thing is highlighted. So this is a row, and it has 2 columns on the inside of it. Now this column right here, you'll notice that I can hover over different things. These are modules. So these are modules that I can stack on top of each other inside of this column. This one right here, for example, is just a photo module. This right here is a post module. You shouldn't have to mess with this. I've coded a lot of this to be a custom post layout, so please don't touch that. But I just wanted you to see that there are modules, there are columns, and then there are rows. Boxes, inside of boxes, inside of boxes. And every one of these, you can play around with the different settings on it. You can play around with the different modules. The cool part about our custom sites is that even though we handle them, you guys can update text and content as needed. So what we would do here, for example, Live to Lead is October 12th. And so what I would do is I would come in here once October 12th is done and you guys don't want to highlight Live to Lead anymore. I would come to Advanced and I would change the visibility to Never. And that way, this is hidden from anybody that visits the website. And then when you guys start a new Live to Lead event, you can come in here and display it always again. For text, text is the same.
The world is marching into the future. The world is marching fast.
That video, man.
The world is marching in.
I'm sorry if there was a bit of a jump there. I had to, every time I come in to edit the page, this video starts playing. So for text and things of that nature, if you want to change any of this text, all you have to do is click on it, and it pulls up the information right here. And so it's inline. So if I wanted to change the text heading, I just change that. If I want to scroll down and change the information on the inside, I can do it right there, and it changes as you're typing. And then I click Save. It's the same here. If you want to, you can actually do it inline. So instead of doing it over here, you can just click on this and you can type right there. What I like to do is take this little editor box, and I like to anchor it over here in the side so it doesn't really bother me. For the sake of my video, I can't make my screen any bigger, but oftentimes I'll drag it to where my screen is full width, so it still looks it's right when I'm editing it. For this, like a photo module, you just come in, you can click on it, and it brings up the options that you can do, and you can edit the photo right here. The beauty of your custom site is that for the most part, all of this is already done, right? And so one thing we can do today is we can talk about tutorials. So I have tutorials set up here, testimonials, not tutorials, testimonials. And if I want to add a testimonial, I just come in here. I can duplicate this testimonial and click Edit Testimonial, and I can just replace the text with the new testimonial and save it, and it'll start playing that right away. As you get going into your website more, there may be some things that you realize that, oh, I need to do this with the page builder, and the basic overview that I'm giving right now, maybe that wasn't enough for you. And so let me know, please, what you're trying to do with the page builder, and I'm more than happy to make another tutorial based off of that, or maybe it's already in our knowledge base and I can send you that video. Just let me know, and I'll be happy to oblige. After everything, after any changes you make sure you click Done, Publish. And I always make a habit of coming up here and clearing cache and then preload cache. And instead of getting into nerd talk on what all that does, it just helps the internet realize that there have been changes made to the page, and it reduces the time that people might have in other areas of the world and seeing the changes that you have made. You always want to make a habit coming up here and clear cache, preload cache. And that's a basic overview of using the page builder.